San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Michael Jimenez. Halftime.
Yes, sir. It's halftime on the San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. We're on the go at sasportsstar.com. We're really on the go today. We've taken the show on the road. My name's Michael Jimenez. The show goes from 12 to 2. We are coming at you live from Twin Peaks, the Park North location on 410 between Blanco and San Pedro, joined by Rob Thompson.
Do you call this area Park North?
Yeah.
Not Central Park?
It was Central Park back in the day when Park Place was back here.
But you don't call it that anymore.
No, I don't.
Now you call it the Park North.
Officially, yes.
Now, if I was asking you and you were at home and you weren't, and I said, meet me out at Twin Peaks, and so where is it? And you'd say it's at the Park North, or would you say, oh, it's over in Central Park?
I'd say Park North, what used to be Central Park Mall. It's kind of like Wonderland Mall down the street. Is it Crossroads? Is it Wonderland? What is it? It seems to change every few years.
It's Wonderland. It always has been. No, actually, it was Wonderland. Now, I stuck with Crossroads. It's still that. I heard the Balcones Heights is buying the place. It's a big doctor's office now anyway.
Oh, I know. I mean, you have I got my booster shot there recently, got my first 2 COVID shots there as well. So it's an interesting place. It's more of a swap meet, and there's a Burlington coat factory in there.
It is.
And
swap meet.
I mean, it is what it is. They have a really good store there that has like a bunch of sports memorabilia and like sports jerseys and stuff like that. I found a Houston Oilers one there the other day that I want to get. It was a Warren Moon one.
I didn't know that. My good friend Phil Zavala has Image Avenue clothier down there, so I have occasion to go, but it has only been either for sickness, COVID, or new shirts. That's the only reason I'm ever in Crossroads.
I got to tell you something embarrassing, man. I was going through my garage the other day, and I found a sports jersey that I had when I was in high school. It was a Kevin Johnson Phoenix Suns jersey, the number 7.
Respect. Kevin could play.
One of my favorite players growing up, right? It was Kevin Johnson and Willie Anderson. Those were my guys. Oh. And no one was home.
Willie? Really?
Willie, yeah, number 40, baby. Yeah, he was the king of the mid-range jumper.
The king of the foot on the three-point line.
He was. But from 15 feet away, Willie Anderson and DeMar DeRozan, money from 15 feet out. But I found this Kevin Johnson jersey, and no one was home, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to try it on.
Did you look like Farley in a coat?
Dude, I looked like a busted can of biscuits, man, because this was a big uniform that I had that was draped over me when I was in high school. But, you know, you have the freshman 15, you have the marriage 15, you have the baby 15.
And, so that's 45.
Exactly.
We need a few more 15s.
Are you adding?
Man, let's not get there, James.
Well, I added 4, but I've lost 2 since. So it fit, though. It went over. But I didn't look as good as when I wore it the first time back when I was a junior and senior in high school.
Was it the orange jersey?
It was the purple one.
The purple one.
It was the purple one.
Kevin, went on to be the mayor of Sacramento.
He did. Yeah. Got in trouble afterwards,
he did get a little bit of trouble. That guy has never gotten the credit he was due. He was one of the better point guards, and he just happened to be sandwiched, right before Nash got there.
Yeah, not long enough of a career either. He only played for like 8 or 9 years.
But for a brief shining moment, he was just about the best point guard in the league. Yeah, come out and join us. We're at Twin Peaks, the Park North or Central Park locale. You know where it is, right on 1604. We have in our hot little hands Eagles tickets. Now, it's not 1979. They're back together. They're going to come to the Moody Center in May of next year, the brand new Moody Center. And we got a pair of tickets. So you want to come out and get them. You got to be here to win. We're going to give them away a little bit after 2 o'clock.
Sounds fun, man. I was talking to you earlier. The Eagles mean something to me because not only was I introduced to the Eagles by my cousins in California back in the day, but I was born the week that Hotel California was number 1 back in 1977.
So you can't so it had probably been out for several months. You think it had been out for 9 months? Do you think you were the reason that Hotel California is the reason you're here?
Yes. And I was also the downfall of Jimmy Carter as well. So, but no, I love the Eagles. The Eagles is a great band.
They're a country band, by the way. They've been portrayed as a rock and roll band. Eagles are country.
Really?
Listen,
they're Americana, man.
That is country music that they lied to the American public and said it was rock. But
so Desperado is
country.
It's country. Hotel California,
Country.
the song.
Well, that one not necessarily. The band is country. That's a rock song.
But they are so good at their instruments, and rest in peace, Glenn Fry. But the fact of the matter is they have a very distinct sound. Maybe it's not country, maybe it's not rock, but it's just simply the Eagles.
Further proof. Since Fry passed, you know who's the guitar? Who's standing in for him? Vince Gill. Further proof.
But Jackson Brown's also been performing for them as well. So
I guess that's true. Anyway, I'm a big fan. I'm going.
Yeah, so we're here at the Twin Peaks Park North location. We're pre-gaming. Cowboys playing tonight against my New Orleans Saints. I am not optimistic as a Saints fan, so Cowboy fans, you should be optimistic because I think this is the week that you guys turn it around.
Well, turn it around or just get back on the winning side. I think we won't be turned around until everybody's healthy and we've had another game or two with everybody healthy. Even though we're getting the offense back, at least with Amari and CD, turning it around, I think we're a couple of weeks away because we haven't had McCarthy all week. They have zero offensive line coaching in the building, so it's not going to be easy. But the Saints are setting up pretty good.
This is the team that you would want to play at this time of the year because the Saints are beaten up. And we've talked about the Cowboys having injuries, but man, the Saints are coming in with no Alvin Kamara. Their biggest offensive weapon is not going to be playing. It was announced today that he is out.
Mm-hmm.
Knee injury.
Little thing that he's missing out on. Did you know tonight, Alvin could have set an all-time NFL record if he'd have played and caught one pass. If he'd caught one pass tonight, he passed Roger Craig for the most receptions in the first 6 years of their career.
Wow.
Be at 359. He would have passed Craig, but he won't do it tonight.
So Mark Ingram's playing. He's back from a knee injury. Don't know how much run he's going to get, but he's been a full participant in practice this week. Taysom Hill is going to be quarterbacking for the Saints. His first time under center for the entire season, starting as a quarterback. I don't know what to get out of him, man. This is the great game for the Cowboys. The Saints are also missing their starting offensive left tackle, starting right tackle as well. Cowboys getting back Tank Lawrence.
Yes, sir. Finally.
Getting back Amari Cooper. Cowboys are getting healthier. The Saints are still roadkill right now.
I think the Saints, if in fact they do go down tonight, and it's probably pretty imminent, season's done.
Yeah.
Good
Agreed.
night and good riddance.
I mean, right now they're tied for the last spot. And I think right now you need to go at least 9-8 to get a spot. Right now, 5-6 would get you into the playoffs. I think Washington football team are right now the 7th spot in the NFC. But I think 9 wins would potentially get you there. Big show today. Again, we go from 12 to 2. Some very candid comments at 12:30. Thad Young from the Spurs. He spoke out about his situation. He's very disappointed. He didn't want to be here. He got traded here in the DeMar DeRozan deal, and his minutes have been slashed, and he's not happy about it, but he's very professional about it. We'll be talking about that around 12:30.
Do you think that the clock is ticking for Thagic?
Yes. Well,
I think it's been ticking the moment he was traded for. I don't think there's ever been any intent to keep him.
The way they've handled him from the get-go shows that they didn't want him on this team, which is weird because he's actually one of the better Spur players. At 1:30, is it 50,000 or bust? Some of the numbers have been released as to how many tickets have been sold to the Conference USA Championship game, UTSA, and it's looking like 50,000 is doable.
30,000 in student tickets alone.
Right. 50,000, I think, is going to be the number. It's going to be a big, big game tomorrow night. And then at 1:45, we're going to dive deep into Rob Thompson's Spotify account. For those of you who have Spotify, you may have noticed on the app, there's a segment called Wrapped, which shows your top songs for the year 2021, how many times you've listened to this, that, and the other. I looked at my top 100, and I was a little bit surprised. Mine's a little bit skewed, though, because
I'm not on Spotify that much. I don't think it's going to give a fair representation of what I listen to.
Well, I'll give mine, and
I think it will.
Mine up.
and Pledge, if you have Spotify too, I want to know who your top 5 is as well, but that'll be at 1:45. But man, right now, again, we're at Twin Peaks Park North, 410 and San Pedro, 410 and Blanco, in between those two streets. Cowboys kick off at 7:20 against the Saints. Temperature check time, because last night on Twitter, I decided to ask a very simple question. Do you expect the Cowboys to win Thursday night? Very simple question. The answers you could have chosen were, yes, I expect them to win, or no, anything can happen. What I was surprised about was that 65% of the people who responded to that poll said that they would not be surprised if the Cowboys lost this game. And I am shocked.
Are you, though? Why are you so shocked?
I am shocked because the Cowboys should win this game by 2 touchdowns running away. And in fact, the spread has moved. It was 4.5 yesterday. It's now 6. I bet you by the time kickoff comes around, it'll be closer to 7.
Well, I think the money's going to move the Cowboys' way. But Cowboys fans know one thing, that Sean Payton knows how to beat us. I mean, Sean Payton, it's one of those rivalry things that Payton has consistently, but for a couple of years ago when we waxed them, the Cowboys, that's the one of the reasons I go, maybe. But also, it's the lack of the coaching staff. I think this is when you're the Saints and you don't have much to lose and you're playing, Taysom Hill, who's kind of gimpy. You don't have Alvin Kamara, and you've got a solid defense of the team that's kind of stumbling. I don't think that it's going to be as easy as a lot of people do, or maybe thought a week ago.
The fear that Dallas Cowboy fans seem to have of Sean Payton is a little bit odd. It's kind of funny. It's respect given to him because that's the coach that the Cowboys should have gotten.
It is.
That is the guy that could have taken Dak Prescott and the fellas to the promised land. Now, I'm not saying that Mike McCarthy can't, but
when it came down to Garrett, or when Garrett got the gig and he was kind of stumbling and Sean Payton was available, they should have gone and gotten him.
They should have gone all in at that point. That's one of those great what ifs in sports. Had they gotten Sean Payton. But I look at it this way: the Saints are beaten up. They've lost 4 in a row. I know the Cowboys have lost 3 out of 4, but the Saints at one point were 5-2, were playoff bound, and had beaten the Buccaneers. Injury to Jameis Winston, he's out for the season. Normally Taysom Hill would have taken over at that point, but Taysom Hill had gotten hurt with a concussion the week before, so he was out. The Saints turned to Trevor Siemian. Siemian had one good showing against the Bucs because the Bucs had no tape on him. They did not prepare for him, and they beat the Bucs. But ever since then, the last month has been awful for the Saints. Cowboys better win this game. Not only win this game, but they better win this game decisively, because if they don't, and even though I know no Coach Mike McCarthy and no offensive line coach there, I get that, but they have other coaches there. They have Quinn there, who's going to be taking over head coaching.
Who, by the way, is 4-6 against the Saints.
But with the Falcons,
come on. I'm going to give you another thing that will give you some pause. The Cowboys have lost 5 straight Thursday games.
Why are they playing them then?
Well, not just why. If any team should be prepared to win Thursday games, it's the Cowboys. They and Detroit are the only teams in the league guaranteed at least one Thursday game every year. And it's always wrapped at this time of the year. It's always 3 games in 12, 13 days. That's pretty typical of the Cowboys. Yet, for 5 consecutive games, 2.5 years, they have not won a Thursday game.
At 1 o'clock, we'll be talking more about the Cowboys. A big honor for a member of the defensive side of the ball revealed this morning. So we'll be talking about that at 1 o'clock. Again, we are at Twin Peaks Park North. I'm impressed that you already ate your lunch. I mean, I followed you because you ordered some sort of chicken ranch sandwich, right?
Yeah, it was good.
And I looked over, mine got delivered to me, and mine is still intact. And I look over to you, and you're like, I'm done.
Well, I can't have food in front of me while I'm on air because I'll continue to eat it. Yeah. I don't have the willpower not to grab a French fry while it's just my nature. So I learned a long time ago, either eat it and get it out of the way or put it someplace where it's not close. I didn't trust Edwin. He'd start eating my food, so I just ate it. My
wife says I need to come home with cheese bites, and if I don't, I'm going to be sleeping outside.
That's why you come to Twin Peaks, man. The eats, the drinks, and the scenic views.
And the scenic views, and also the game being played tonight. Kickoff at 7:20. You can also listen to it on the San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. Let's get some headlines in. Here's James Pledger with the 411 and the 210.
Here's the 411 in the 210.
And remember, Dallas Cowboys football brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota Tractors. Just throwing that out there.
Headline 2.
We'll start things off with Major League Baseball, as the league and the Players Association have failed to reach a new labor agreement. The league is entering its first lockout since 1990. MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred expressed disappointment in the lockout, but said he believes it is, quote, the best mechanism to protect the 2022 season, end quote. Despite the league's best efforts to make a deal with the Players Association, we were unable to extend our 26-year-long history of labor peace and come to an agreement with the Major League Baseball Players Association. Therefore, the current CBA has expired, Manfred had wrote in a statement. The MLBPA also put their own statement out on Thursday morning, calling the lockout, quote, a dramatic measure regardless of timing. It was the owner's choice, plain and simple, specifically calculated to pressure players into relinquishing rights and benefits and abandoning good faith bargaining proposals that will benefit not just players, but the game and industry as a whole, end quote.
Oh, yeah, they're looking out for us, the fan. That's, at the end of the day, all I really care about are the billionaires and the millionaires really taking into consideration my concerns. Because if they are, then go ahead and split up that $1 billion pie.
The owners have all the leverage in this. In a fight of millionaires against billionaires, for some reason, the public turns against the millionaires and will side with this. The billionaires, the owners, can just fall back and say, hey, we had a pandemic last year. We didn't make as much money last year. There's certain things going on, certain changes that need to be made. They have all the excuses. Now, whether they're valid or not is a different story. But the billionaires, the owners, have all the leverage in the world. At some point, fans are going to turn on these players because these players are signing big contracts. Now, I know it's top-heavy in baseball. There are the haves and have-nots, but the haves are signing deals of $300, $400, $500 million. It's not going to be a good thing for the players.
Over the last week, nearly $2.5 billion have been signed in baseball contracts.
That seems like good faith
to me. Texas Rangers have spent $500 million themselves over the last 4 days. So one of the issues that the players are dealing with in the last CBA was 2016, they kind of folded. And what worked out was the rich guys, the ones that were getting paid the $40 million a year, there's money for that. But to get them paid, the middle class of Major League Baseball is going away. So you've got rookies that are signing early. What did Fernando Tatis just sign? A 10-year deal as a second-year pro? So you see the young guys get locked up early with contracts that look rough now, but 5-6 years from now won't look quite as bad. Middle class of the baseball of the Major League Players Association, those are the ones that are going to stand tight on this.
And a lot of these baseball players, Tatis included, owe money to essentially a payday loan type of service that basically paid them money while they were in the minor leagues, and they're going to take a big chunk of their paycheck along the way. So it's kind of interesting, that whole development.
Well, they're going to, what's the longest we've seen? 232 days. We're probably about that long away from the
no one's going to care till February or March.
Yeah, they're going to lock out, go away, and discuss. This isn't over. It's going to get ugly before it gets better.
It's going to be interesting to see, though. There's still some big names like Carlos Correa waiting around for a contract.
Headline 1.
Notre Dame's Marcus Freeman has become the lead candidate to be the next head football coach for the university, sources say. Notre Dame defensive coordinator Marcus Freeman, with mounting support from players and recruits, has emerged as the leading candidate to become the Fighting Irish's head football coach. This, according to ESPN's Heather Dinich. No deal has been finalized. Several steps remain before Freeman can formally be announced as the head coach. Freeman, only 35 years old, is completing his first season as Notre Dame's defensive coordinator. Brian Kelly left for LSU earlier this week and has pursued Freeman to join his staff at LSU as the defensive coordinator. Cincinnati head coach Luke Fickell is also a top candidate for the Notre Dame head coaching vacancy, according to sources.
Well, I can tell you, if Freeman doesn't get it, there's a problem. It appears that everybody in Notre Dame feels like he's the guy. The problem is you don't want to be the guy to replace the guy. I'm glad that they have gone and didn't retread a coach that was looking around or trying to jump to the next biggest. They got an internal hire, an assistant that's worked his way up, man of color, represents a lot of different things. Yep. I think it's a brilliant hire. I bid him the best of luck. But this is a tough time to take over as the Notre Dame head coach without a conference. And as we start looking toward what the playoff scenarios are going to be and what the Power Five looks like, this is going to be some choppy water for Notre Dame over the next couple of years.
But how can you say no? I mean, this is the first-time gig. I mean, you have to say yes, even though you are going against or following up against the winningest coach in Notre Dame history. It is a difficult task. But the fact of the matter is that Brian Kelly was not somebody who had a huge legacy there. Okay, he wasn't Newt Rockne. He wasn't somebody in the past who's going to be revered over there. He was a good coach for a long, long time. He was a Mac Brown of Notre Dame.
I wouldn't go that far.
Hey, Mac Brown won a title too.
Yeah, but I look at what it's funny how we look at what Kelly's legacy is going to be, because if I ask you today, name Notre Dame head football coaches, Kelly, I don't think would come to mind first. I mean, guys would throw out Holtz and Parsean and those names.
Newt Rockne.
And Kelly, while most wins in any Notre Dame history, has my memory of him will be his catfished player in a championship game, losing in big games, being overmatched, overrated for most of the time he was there. Yet he has a lot of wins because they can play a fight manager and coordinate their schedule without a conference schedule. They can pick and choose and play bantamweights instead of heavyweights.
No, understood. But again, it's a great first gig. I like the fact that he's young. I like the fact that he's a person of color. I like the fact that he apparently has a good rapport with the team.
Yeah, they voted for him. They all came for him, and that's first and foremost that wouldn't be the reason I'd hired him.
Give it a shot. Let's see what happens.
Good luck to him.
Headline 0.
I don't know if you know this, guys, but the Dallas Cowboys play tonight. It's actually a game you can catch right here on your Home for America's team, San Antonio
So we've
Sports
been
Star.
told.
It's brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota. Well, the New Orleans Saints, the team the Cowboys are facing, are going to start Taysom Hill at quarterback, his first start at QB on the season. And they'll also be without running back Alvin Kamara, who will miss his third straight game with knee soreness.
Taysom Hill is going to be running for his life today.
Doesn't he have a bad wheel anyway?
Yeah, he had a concussion. That's why he was out.
But doesn't he have plantar fasciitis or turf toe or something going on?
I am not 100% sure, but the fact of the matter is that when you don't have your left tackle, you don't have your right tackle, you have nothing on the offensive line. We saw what happened to Dak when he was missing pieces of the offensive line. That's what's going on with the Saints. I would have enjoyed seeing a backfield of Kamara, Ingram, and Taysom Hill basically have three running backs back there. Run a wishbone, try to figure it out who's going to run the ball. But with this game, Kamara's out. That's the biggest weapon for the Saints. He's gone. Cowboys should win this game.
Saints went 3-0 with them last year. They held opponents to just 13 points a game when Taysom Hill played by dominating time of possession. This year, not so much.
That's the only way the Saints can win is if they have takeaways.
That's the 411 and a 210.
Thanks for playing along, guys.
Apologies to my wife. Man, I was in the doghouse last night. Big time. So what had happened was my daughter was supposed to be picked up from tutoring at 6 o'clock, and 6:45 came around.
Where was your wife?
She was working out.
She was working out. Okay.
Yes. So she was doing a Camp Gladiator workout.
All right.
And she says, hey, just want to remind you, you got Ava, right?
How old's
and
your
I
daughter?
was like, oh, my God, I don't. And I ran over there to go get her. And I was in the doghouse for a good 3 or 4 hours there.
Is this the first time that's ever happened?
I think so. I mean, I've been late, but not late. I've been late because of traffic. I've been late because of things that are out of my control. This time I was late because I was off my normal pattern.
Why?
Because normally the show ends, I hang around for half an hour. I go pick up my kids from school. I take her to tutoring. I go home. I take a nap. I pick her back up. I start working on dinner. I have a certain plan of the day. Yesterday, my wife picked up the kids. Yesterday, I stayed late at the station. And when I got home, I started my nap later than normal. And when I woke up, everything was off.
Your excuse is you were off because you took a nap later than normal and you were 45 minutes late picking up your 9-year-old child who was standing out. That was your excuse.
That's the excuse I'm going with.
Okay.
I'm going with the excuse that my wife has done a very good job of training me. I was like a James Pledger when she met me. I was a wild stallion. I was a young man out and about around town. I would, stay, I'd go to bed late. I'd wake up late. I was just that dude. And now she has me on a calendar, on a schedule for lots of things. And the fact of the matter is I was thrown off my calendar and like all things, I just forgot about.
Yeah, don't
things.
do that again.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. I've left kids practice. That's happened many times. Not a girl, but
Well, she wasn't on the side of the street or anything.
No,
she was indoors at a facility.
No, I've left a kid alone at a practice on a basketball court for hours late. The biggest fear my wife always had was when my oldest was a baby, I was the one that took him to daycare.
Yeah.
And she would call me every day to make sure that I didn't accidentally just drive to work and leave him in the back seat. Which I guess is a valid concern, but no, that never.
Yeah, normally the kids are my responsibility to drop off school and pick them up from school. So, like I said,
was your daughter traumatized?
I think she played it up a little bit because she wanted to get me in trouble with mom. My daughter gets a kick out of mom being mad at me, because you know how kids are. They don't want to see PDA from parents.
So, did your wife know you were late?
No, she just got a phone call, and she missed a phone call, and she looked down and texted me saying, "Hey, I got a phone call. I don't recognize it. You picked up Ava, right?" And the answer was, "No, I didn't. But, babe, I apologize. I will get you cheese bites from Twin Peaks."
Why did you reply?
Oh, because my daughter would have told on me.
Oh, well,
she would have ratted me out in a heartbeat. You can't do that thing where it's like, keep this from mom, because she'll tell.
Oh, no, they're all informers. And by the way, as the husband to a first grade teacher, they're telling on you as well. Anything that's going on in your house, the teacher knows. Anything. They are informers.
Spurs are going to try to make it 3 in a row tonight, taking on the Blazers. No Dame Lillard, so Spurs have a chance. Are you saying that there's a chance? Spurs trying to go for 3 in a row. We're going to break down that game. And we're going to hear some sound from Thad Young. Thad Young was traded to the Spurs over the summer. And let's just say he's kind of frustrated. And he was very candid, very open about the situation. We'll hear from Thad Young on the other side. This is halftime on the San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. And we're on the go at sasportstar.com.
Didn't catch R&R in the morning? Here's what you missed.
You tall guys, man. I feel like y'all's job is always easier.
Oh, it's always easy.
Especially a hooper, the girls go crazy because they're 6'4", 6'6". Like, there's no work involved. Down here, we got to work. We got to have a conversation. Down here, you got to have game.
Rob Thompson, Rudy J. Weekday morning 7 to 10 on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get access. Well, not anymore, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month and no contract. Plus, get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
If the Oral-B IO electric toothbrush had a theme song, this would be it.
I think you're gonna wanna see this.
Only IO combines Oral-B's dentist-inspired round brush head with gentle micro vibrations for a brushing experience even dentists have hailed as literally the best brush I've ever used. Get the wow of a professional clean feel every day with the IO from Oral-B, the #1 brand used by dentists.
You're gonna see what everybody's talking about.
Oral-B, brush like a pro.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Do you want to be a hero for the holidays? How about getting your loved one a new iPhone? That's right. Pure Talk has iPhone 12 starting at just $479 through the end of the year. And yes, they have the 13s too. Switch to Pure Talk. Get great nationwide 5G coverage. Yes, the same coverage as the big guys, but the average family saves over $800 a year. Now that's just smart. There is no need to overpay for Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile. Plus, with Pure Talk's 30-day risk-free guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data is just $30 a month. And like I said, the iPhone 12, just $479 this month. From your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say half off to get an additional half off your first month, plus save on a new phone. That's pound 250. Say half off. Pure Talk is simply smarter, wireless. Some restrictions apply. See site for details.
My doctor told me my blood pressure is borderline. I figured I could worry about it or do something about it. So I took control with Garlic Healthy Blood Pressure Formula. It works safely and naturally to help maintain healthy blood pressure with a custom blend of garlic, vitamins, and minerals. And it's odor-free. I'm taking charge with Garlic Healthy Blood Pressure Formula.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Welcome back to the quickest podcast ever, brought to you by Kohl's.
Today's topic, holiday traditions.
They're the best.
Agreed. So I went to Kohl's and got 40% off Cuddle Duds throws for movie night and 40% off outerwear.
Ooh, for caroling?
More like sledding. Also got an Amazon Echo Show 8 so the kids can bake with grandma.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That was the extra 25% I saved and the Kohl's cash I got.
I take it savings one of your favorite traditions, too.
You know it. Select styles. Offers end December 8th. Some exclusions apply. Amazon coupons do not apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Hey, Cowboy fans, it is game day. Jason Minix here. Miller Lite, the only beer the Dallas Cowboys and San Antonio Sports Star. We're throwing a huge watch party tonight out at R&J Saloon. We'll start with a live broadcast of the Blitz from 4 to 7, then stick around and watch the Cowboys take on the Saints. Enjoy $2 Miller Lite long necks during the game. Register to win some great Miller Lite Cowboys gear and other great holiday stuff. That's this afternoon, 4 to 7 at R&J Saloon on South Flores.
Giving you an excuse for a long lunch break. This is Halftime with Michael Jimenez on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Informer, you know, say that I'm a stormy, I go blame. I like you boom boom down. Take the man that say that I'm a stormy, stand somewhere down the lane. I like you boom boom down. Informer,
Thanks, Pledge.
You know, say that I'm a stormy, I go blame.
Informer by, who's that, by Snow?
Oh my God.
That is,
you know who does that?
Dude, yeah, licky boom boom down.
Please don't ever do that again.
Man, upload a photo of what's on your grill and enter a description and recipe, and you could win a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. Winners chosen every Thursday at 6 on the Blitz. Welcome back to Halftime on the San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. We are live at Twin Peaks, the Park North location on 410 between Blanco and San Pedro. Pre-gaming, because the Cowboys are in action tonight against the Saints.
Don't you have a standing offer that the first couple of people that come up and say hello to you
They get a beer.
All right.
They get a beer.
And if they do have something to do on Saturday,
or don't have
anything to do on Saturday, we've got, we'll just throw it out there. I have, sitting in front of us, we have 12 tickets to go to the Natural Bridge Caverns. But you got to go by Saturday.
So if you have nothing to do.
If you got nothing to do and you got a bunch of family in, come by, say hi to Mike. He'll buy you beer. And I will, out of the gracious of my good heart, offer you rapidly expired Natural Bridge Caverns tickets. But hey, if you got something going on Saturday, got family in, you want to entertain them, this is pretty good value. So come by and say howdy. We'll give you whatever you need.
Now, during the break, we were talking about beer. What is your beer of choice?
It rotates. Right now, I'm a Yuengling guy just because I haven't had access to it for a long time. But
I've never had that.
I have on a good authority that right now, within 20 feet of you, it is at a brisk and cool 29 degrees and ready to be put in a icy cold glass. So I think you're about an hour and a half away from having your first Yuengling.
I'm normally a Dos Equis guy. I like it dressed out, lots of salt, a lot of lime.
That's always Dos Equis to me is the club sandwich of a bar.
Okay.
I can always fall back on a Dos Equis. If I don't know what I want, I can get a club sandwich. It's hard to screw that up. If I don't know what beer I'm going to get, I get a Dos Equis and have them dress it. It's always good.
Stella Artois is also big in mine.
It's too snooty for me.
Oh, come on, man. It's strong,
though. It's got a little makeup, a little perfumey to it.
Anything Belgian, I'm all about.
Made by monks. I like it. But the Chimay, those kind of things, but that's not my go-to. I'm not bougie enough for that stuff.
Now, not bougie, but at least it's Texas. I'm also a big Shiner Bock guy.
No, that's definitely not bougie. And who is it?
I want to go to that Shiner, the brewery.
You've never been?
I've never been. I drive by when I go to Houston pretty frequently, and I always see it. I've never been there.
Years back, I don't know if they still do it. You could go with an organization and bottle beer, cap beer. They put you to work for a night. You got to taste afterwards, have a little party, and they paid you, or at least they paid the organization to do that. For we did it to get some money for Christmas donations and things like that. So we all would go down to where is it, Shiner, of course, and work for an evening, capping bottles, doing their Christmas stuff, and then have a party afterwards. I don't know if they still do it, but
I'm
it's fun.
picturing a Laverne and Shirley moment.
It felt very much. Well, I mean, you're sitting. I mean, it's not like you're really working, but it's a way to
I
bring
Love
some
Lucy.
money in for your organization. Yeah, I prefer the I Love Lucy one. That meant I would have been drinking the beer that I couldn't cap, and they watch you pretty close. Can't do that.
Very cool. Well, on TV tonight at 9 o'clock, we're going to have the Spurs and the Portland Trailblazers. Spurs try to make it 3 in a row. They took out the Celtics, took out the Wizards. Now they're playing a hurt Portland Trailblazers team. Interesting thing about the Blazers, they are a 500 team. They're 11-11, but they're 10-1 at home, 1-10 on the road. But this time, no Dame Lillard. Spurs have a chance.
No Nasir Little either. Norman Powell is questionable with a quad issue right now, and that I think is really going to be the key. They're going to have to deal with C.J. McCallum, who's always a threat, but the Spurs are in a good position as they hit the West Coast. They do have Golden State and Phoenix coming up before they bring in the Knicks. So it's going to be difficult for the next couple of days. But more importantly than who they're playing, it's the time they've had between games I think we need to pay attention to. It's been now 3 days. They've had a chance to get at least 2, probably 3 full practices in. And this season, when the Spurs have practiced, we've seen it show in the games. They haven't won every game after a couple of days off, but they've been competitive in every one of them and won 2 of them after days off. So I do expect the Spurs to have this game circled with the expectation this road trip, you want to go better than 1 and 2, but if you're going to get it, you're going to have to get it tonight.
Now, beyond C.J. McCollum, Yusuf Nurkic is the one that I'm going to be looking at. Can the Spurs, can Thad Young, can Drew Eubanks, can Jakob Poeltl slow Nurkic down? And he's averaging 12 points, 8 rebounds. It's one of those things where I look at the big guys whenever the Spurs are playing another team. I want to see, can the Spurs go out and stop him, get him off the boards, prevent him from doing certain screens. I think that's going to be the key for the game is stopping him with no Dame out there.
No Dame. Nurkic is going to get his buckets. Poeltl is still kind of turning around his coming back from COVID. I think it affected him a little bit more physically than others. So I think we're not going to get 100% of Jakob, but we will get enough defense to slow him down. Without Dame, they're going to have to find some more offense, and I do expect it to come from Nurkic. But he has an issue guarding. I don't expect him to play the huge role. This is a Spurs game to go get. It really is. C.J. McCollum is going to go get his, but everybody else seems to be defendable. And if Norman Powell is slowed, if not out, this is one they've got to get for a couple of reasons. One, DeJounte is making his case to be an all-star.
Yeah.
Stuffing stats, and this will be an opportunity to be on national TV. This is one of the few NBA TV games that the Spurs will have this season. I think they only have 2 left. So get an opportunity for the rest of the country to watch a limited NBA slate tonight. And more importantly, stacking wins for the Spurs. That's a difficult proposition for a team that, has come close several times and proven to themselves the last 2. At least they can hold on and defend their home court and take a win. Winning on the road against a team that doesn't lose at home, as a team that doesn't win on the road, everything's stacked against them. This is one of those. It's not a signpost game for them, but I do believe we're getting close to the time where the season's going to officially begin in the minds of most on Christmas Day, and the wins are going to get even more difficult as we get closer.
Especially the rodeo road trip.
You got to get this one. They really do need to get this one for their own personal edification, and also just to not go winless again on the road as we head west against some very good teams in Golden State and Phoenix.
I saw a phrase on Twitter last night that made me laugh, and I'm going to use it from here on out. Someone asked the question, are the Spurs doing a soft tank? Now, a hard tank, I would assume, is what the Houston Rockets are doing, right? Basically trying to lose every single game.
4 straight, baby.
Exactly. But when it comes to a soft tank, I had never heard that phrase before.
What do you think that means?
I think that means that the players are trying, but the organization itself is putting up roadblocks.
Isn't that always a tank?
The Spurs are trying. We saw that against the Celtics. The Spurs lost a big lead. DeJounte Murray led the Spurs back to a win, and then they won going away against the Wizards. Obviously, the players are not tanking, but I guess what soft tank kind of reveals, though, if that is the case, is that the Spurs may not be playing their best players, may not be playing the best lineups. One of the players that I'm talking about is Thad Young. I'm sorry, Thad Young is one of the 4 or 5 best Spurs on that roster, and the last 5 games he has played 4 minutes, 5, 8, 6, and 13. And instead, we're seeing minutes go to Drew Eubanks. Instead, we're seeing minutes go to other players who are not as accomplished as Thad Young, not as good as Thad Young. And when Young is in there, he's balling. And it's frustrated him tremendously. And he spoke out about this the other day, yesterday, very candid. And he is very, very frustrated at this moment.
Whatever happens with me is what's happening with me. Like right now, this situation is not ideal for me. I've never been in a situation where I, had to settle for 4 and 6 minutes a game. So my is my so I wouldn't put that on my teammates. That's something that I have to deal with. So I try to control what I can control and focus on what I can focus on.
I want to ask you, Mike, should he be playing?
Yes.
In your estimation,
if the Spurs are legitimately trying to win, he should not only be playing, he should be starting.
I don't think anybody would argue with that, especially Thaddeus and his wife, who was the first to kind of voice their displeasure a couple of weeks back on a real short tweet about the situation that her husband was in. I think he is a good soldier. I mean, he's in the same position DeMar was in, but he's not as good as DeMar. We can't afford to put him on the court because we are preparing young guys to get better. But at the same time, I don't see – I think the Spurs want to move him, but I don't see how they're going to move him.
Exactly. And the thing is that even though he dropped a couple of curse words there, he's still being very professional. He's still being very a good teammate. And one of the things that he talks about is that he hears the trade rumors. He knows that that's going on behind the scenes. And he's having difficulty trying to be a good teammate when, in fact, they might ship him the next day. Mm-hmm. But he's doing what he can to not only stay relevant, but also to improve his health.
It's super tough. It's very tough and frustrating at times. But, at the end of the day, I understand where, this franchise is going to understand what's happening. So, the young guys have to play, and, whatever happens. It's just a matter of just trusting in my faith and trusting in my craft and trusting in, the time that I put into the game each and every day. I mean, I'm, a 15-year veteran. I'm still, one of the last to lead the gym, putting in a lot of time and a lot of work, still showing up early and playing in. If I'm not playing minutes in the game, then I have to figure out some type of way to stay in shape. So, doing my after the game conditioning, also as well, showing up early for 3-on-3 sessions. I'm not supposed to be playing those 3-on-3 sessions because, I'm a vet, but, in order to stay in shape, I have to do something. So, playing in 3-on-3 sessions with the younger guys and some of the coaches and, just trying to, continue to keep my feel for the game and continue to, keep that timing.
Thad spoke very highly of DeJounte Murray and his leadership and his ability to elevate his game this season. I just feel bad for Thad Young because he's in a no-win situation right now. He's with a team right now that isn't utilizing him to the best of his abilities, and he knows that he's not wanted, but he's at least being professional about the whole situation, being a good teammate, and taking part in these drills.
Was it being a good teammate going on a podcast? What's the name of the podcast, James? I want to make sure they get credit for it.
The Alex Kennedy podcast.
The Alex Kennedy. Was it being a good teammate going out of market and exposing a little bit of back secret? I'm not judging him.
He never said anything bad about the organization. He was talking about how it impacts him personally. So he didn't say anything bad about, DeJounte. He didn't say anything bad about Keldon or anybody else on the team. He was just basically saying, I'm in a crappy situation. I wish I was not in this situation. I would like to at least be played.
Well, what did he get against this? Was it the Celtics that got 17?
Yeah, in like 13 minutes.
Proof positive that he's fully capable of not only playing but being a starter in the NBA, and he should be starting with the Spurs, and he'll get more minutes at the end of the season when he's finally exited. I don't see him finishing the season. One of the things the Spurs are likely to do if they can't move him, and keep in mind, the moving idea sounds really good, but to move him, you can't just move him without getting a contract in return.
Right.
And nobody's going to send you a good contract. So if the Spurs are truly going to be in the free agent market next year with the amount of money that we expect to have, they don't want to eat into it with the only deal that I know of that's been offered was Phoenix a couple of weeks back that had Dario Saric, who's out with a knee injury. He won't be back till next year. And their number one pick 2 years ago, the big post out of Maryland, who can't get off the bench behind Ayton. The Spurs chose not to because that Saric contract lingers in to the time when they expect to have a fair amount of free agent money. It would have served them well, but it just does. They're still playing in hopes that they can lure a top market free agent with all the money that they'll have left, knowing full well that they're going to have to overpay to get somebody to come to San Antonio.
Most definitely. Now, Rob doesn't think that Thad Young's going to finish the year as a Spur, but do you think I'm going to finish a half marathon this weekend? That has been the debate here on the San Antonio Sports Star. Jason Minix has challenged me to running a half marathon.
How can you challenge someone if you're not doing it yourself?
We're gonna talk about that on the other side. Also at 1 o'clock, we're talking more about the Cowboys in action again tonight against the New Orleans Saints, a beaten up New Orleans Saints team. Cowboys are getting healthier. We're at Twin Peaks Park North right now. Stop on by. The show's going until 2 o'clock. Come grab lunch with us. Stop by, say hi to me. I'll buy you a beer. The first 2 or 3 people coming by. And we've got some tickets to the Eagles and to Natural Bridge Caverns.
The band, the Eagles.
Right.
Not those terrible guys from South New Jersey.
Very nice. This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM, and we're on the go at sasportstar.com.
There's no other game like college football. And the tight end will launch to the end zone. And no one covers it better. It's game day every day for us. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM. ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It's been a long week for the Dallas Cowboys off of the field with suspensions, players returning from injury, and health and safety protocols. But it's finally game day for the Dallas Cowboys as they head into the Superdome to face the Saints. A game that can be heard right here on San Antonio Sports Star with kickoff at 7:20. The two NBA teams from Texas picked up wins last night. The Houston Rockets edge out the Thunder 114-110 to make it 4 in a row to follow their 15-game losing streak, as well as the Dallas Mavericks improving to 11-9 with a 139-107 win over the Pelicans. And the San Antonio Spurs start a 3-game West Coast road trip tonight in Portland as they go up against the Trailblazers without Damian Lillard, who will be out at least 10 days with abdominal tendonitis. Tip-off is set for 9 p.m. Central. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Carl Schoening.
O'Reilly. This is Claudia's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
I had just moved to a new city and barely even knew where the grocery store was yet. When my car wouldn't start one morning, I didn't know who to ask about local shops. But I remembered a name from back home, O'Reilly Auto Parts. I called and they pointed me to a great mechanic just down the street. Now I feel a little more at home.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Great news, Slackers! Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar is now opening at noon 7 days a week at all 4 area locations. North Star, St. Mary's, Slackadoches, and the Medical Center. Slackers is the home for 7-day-a-week happy hour, now starting at noon every day. And by popular demand, Slackers brings back the signature frozen drinks. Bring a date, bring a crew, or come on down solo. Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar serves you up all your favorites and quenches your thirst 7 days a week, starting every day at noon. Visit slackersbarssa.com for more info.
You can talk keto all you want, but if you don't have a team of great tasting snacks behind you, you're not going to win the diet marathon. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds have these big, bold flavors that kick your taste buds into high gear. Korean kimchi barbecue, pasilla chili cheese, spicy dill, and more. Eat them right out of the bag or try them in your favorite recipes. You'll love this snack. Visit your local H-E-B and southernrecipesmallbatch.com to see the power of the rinds.
Southern Recipe pork rinds.
When you're sick, injured, or experiencing a medical problem of any kind, the last thing you want to do is leave your home to find medical care. Now, thanks to Dispatch Health, you don't have to, because Dispatch Health comes to you. That's right. Receive high-quality care from expertly trained medical professionals in the comfort of your own home when you need it. Just call or click, and Dispatch Health comes to your home, able to treat common to complex illnesses and injuries. It's really that simple. Go to dispatchhealth.com now to learn more and download the app so you're always just the touch of a button away from the quality health care you need. Dispatch Health is affordable and in-network with most health insurance plans, including Medicare. It's true high-quality care from expertly trained medical professionals in the ease and comfort of your own home, all for an affordable price. So the next time you're sick or injured, stay home, stay comfortable, and let Dispatch Health come to you. Go to dispatchhealth.com and say hello to the modern-day house call. That's dispatchhealth.com. Go to dispatchhealth.com.
Are you suffering from chronic joint pain like Heather?
So I have terrible arthritis and have had it for quite a while. And I've gone to all kinds of doctors trying to figure out what to do. And everybody just said surgery. And surgery was months of rehab. And I didn't want to do that.
But then Heather discovered QC Kinetics, local medical professionals who specialize in natural biologic treatments, non-invasive solutions designed to repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints. And she absolutely loves the results.
I like to tell anybody who's suffering that there are options that are not steroids, that are not surgery. You owe it to yourself to find out about QC Kinetics and find out what they can do for you.
No surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Discover QC Kinetics and learn more about natural biologic treatments with lasting results.
Call QC Kinetics 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics today. 210-571-0318.
Staying healthy isn't easy, especially during the holidays. Watching your diet, staying active, managing stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed senses your movements and effortlessly adjusts to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Bring proven quality sleep home for the holidays. It's time for our Cyber Week special. Save up to $1,000 on select Sleep Number 360 smart beds and adjustable bases. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Texas Cheer Liquor, your one-stop shop for beer, liquor, wine, and cigars. Follow them on Facebook to keep up with specials and tastings. 4 locations, 2 on Petranco, 1 past 211, 1 in 90 in Montgomery, and the all-new Texas Cheer Liquor next to Walmart, Palo Alto Road, Suite 101.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
A 17-week season and only one couch. Let's hope it holds up. The Cowboys are back. The explosive action happens here. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Opinions. We got them. Keep them coming. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Want a chance to win tickets to every Dallas Cowboys home game this season? It's simple. Go to sasportstar.com and register to win. Win tickets to every home game on your home for the Dallas Cowboys. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Welcome back. This is halftime on the San Antonio Sports Star. I'm looking outside from Twin Peaks Park North. See some people walking in with Dallas Cowboy jerseys right now. Dak Prescott jersey walking on in. We're pre-gaming this game because the Cowboys are back in action tonight against the Saints at 7:20. Come on by. We already gave away 4 tickets to Natural Bridge Caverns, so we have 8 more to give away if you want to stop by. We're also giving away tickets.
There's a caveat with those tickets. There's an expiration date. You got to go.
There's an expiration date.
Got to go this weekend. But come on by if you got family in town. Go see it.
And we're also giving away tickets to the Eagles in concert as well for next year. Got to be here to win it, though. So welcome back to the show. You know, Jason Minix has thrown the challenge out. When he was on the show with me back on Tuesday, he all but took a glove off of his hand and slapped me across the face like Bugs Bunny, right? He challenged me to run the Rock and Roll Half Marathon this weekend when I was planning on doing the 10K.
Why would you listen to a dude that's not even doing it?
Because he knows that I've been talking about doing a half marathon for a while. So I have been bringing it up. But his point is that I will be so disappointed in myself if I finish the 10K knowing that I could have finished the half marathon. So I'm going back in time, and I'm taking a look at my times. I ran a half marathon when I turned 40, and I ran it in 2 hours and 48 minutes. I ran it again 2 years later at age 42, and I ran it in 2:49. So pretty consistent with my time. I would want to beat both of those times, even though I'm a couple of years older. I'm about 20 pounds lighter than I was back then. And I ran 7 miles the other day, had no issues, didn't get hurt. So doing 13.1 is not out of left field. I mean, I think I can do it. But now maybe he's just challenging me in a good way.
I think he's daring you to do something to hurt yourself.
Have you ever done something like that?
No. Running is punishment, man.
Running is fun.
No, well, I'm sure it is.
It clears your mind, man. It really does.
Only time I've ever run in my life, it was because I was in trouble.
You're running away.
Well, no, I was maybe running from the cops.
Yeah.
As an athlete, you get in trouble, you go take a lap.
Yeah.
You get in trouble, you run the stairs. You get in trouble, you go run a mile. So in my mind, if I'm running, for some reason I've done something wrong and I'm being punished for it. It's a mental block, and that's what I'm sticking with. No, I'm not going to.
So between Minix's challenge and James Pledger making fun of the fact that I run with a knee brace now, or
that's a whole other thing.
Well, it's not about running with the knee brace. It's the proudness in which you displayed your new knee brace.
I will make my decision tonight because I'm going to go run maybe about 2 or 3 miles just to kind of get a little bit of fresh air. And if I feel fine, I'll do the half marathon.
Legit, do you get that runner's kind of high that everybody's told me?
What's funny is that when I ran 7 miles a couple weeks ago, miles 6 and 7 were faster than 3, 4, and 5. I was getting faster and faster along the way. Now, I'm not a super fast runner, but for my height and my weight, especially my weight, I mean, to do 12.5-minute miles for 13 miles at my size, I think that's kind of impressive. I'll be honest with you on that.
There's an old basketball coach, and God rest his soul, named Rick Majerus. He was a
nice man,
a phenomenal coach. Coached up at Wyoming, at Utah. Took them to a Final Four. Was an obese man. He was. He spent his entire life morbidly obese. Did you know that he came to San Antonio and ran the San Antonio Marathon?
Really?
At the weight that he had, it took him nearly 9 hours. I mean, it took him. He finished late into the evening.
So basically, what I do is I do 2-minute intervals. So I run for 1:20 and I power walk for 40 seconds. And I just keep doing it. So it's 30 cycles in an hour. It's 60 cycles in 2 hours. And I just picture it as a challenge of 80 things, of 82-minute increments, and I'll be done. And I listen to my jams and my love songs and stuff like that. I try to keep my heart rate down. So I listen to songs that are not really, really fast. But what's sad about it, though, and we'll be talking about this at 1:45, what I listen to while I run really affected my Spotify Wrapped for 2021 because I saw my top 100 songs for the year, and I was severely disappointed in myself. But we're going to get over that around 1:45.
I'm just eager to see exactly what that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
it. If I see a whole bunch of like Taylor Swift and
I'll reveal
Halsey.
I love Halsey. I mean, not only is she my celebrity crush, she is one of my favorite singers. I absolutely love me some Halsey. So is my daughter Ava, my 9-year-old. We bond over her.
That tells me a lot right there.
So very cool. We have another hour of halftime here on the San Antonio Sports Star. Again, we are live at Twin Peaks, the Park North location. Come stop by, say hi, grab a beer, grab a lunch, have some fun with us. We have another hour. We're talking Cowboys on the other side. This is halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM, and we're on the go at sasportstar.com.
San Antonio Sports Star Pro Football Pick'em. Online at sasportstar.com. Can you pick the perfect matchups all season long? If so, you could win $50,000. Weekly winners score gift cards to Pinkerton's Barbecue in the Mellow Mushroom. For official contest rules and to play, visit sasportstar.com. Must be at least 21 years old to play this nationwide contest. One winner will be selected at the end of the season. The Pro Football Challenge from San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Did you know Prilosec OTC can stop frequent heartburn before it begins? Yep, I said before. Block heartburn at the source by taking the Prilosec OTC 2-week challenge. With just 1 pill a day, you get 24-hour heartburn relief. That's all day. Start the 2-week challenge today at prilosecotc.com and live heartburn-free. Just 1 pill a day, 24 hours, 0 heartburn. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
WWE is coming home to San Antonio's AT&T Center with Friday Night SmackDown, December 3rd. See Drew McIntyre join the New Day's Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods to face Universal Champion Roman Reigns and SmackDown Tag Team Champions The Usos. Then Sasha Banks challenges Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship, plus much more. Tickets start at $20. Get yours now at Ticketmaster.
Hear that, Oos? Amy, I need to sell my car, but there's so many choices out there. What should I do?
Why not try CarZeus? We do things differently here. You get to talk to really nice people via phone call or text message. And because your time is valuable, we are by appointment only. Most people walk out in under an hour with cash in hand. Also, if you have an offer from the other guys, we'll do our best to compete and keep your business local.
What's the catch?
No catch. Just go to carzeus.com. That's CARZEUS.com. Answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll take it from there. CarZeus, where you, your time, and money are valuable.
It's not magic that will deliver 1 billion packages to homes across the country this holiday. It's the United States Postal Service. And we don't need a team of reindeer to do it, because we've added more vehicles to our fleet. And while we don't come down your chimney, we can pick up presents for you and yours. So if making more holiday deliveries to homes in the U.S. than anyone else seems like magic, that means we're doing our job. Share the magic at USPS.com/helpers.
You went online to switch your car insurance to Progressive so you could save money. But then you saw a friend request from an old summer camp buddy. And now here you are, clicking through photos of his kickball team from 2011. Looks like they won the championship that year. Then he moved to Tulsa. Oh, a new tattoo. Yes, they said it was easy to save hundreds on car insurance with Progressive, but they forgot about the rest of the internet. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. National average savings by new customer surveyed who saved in 2019.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm gonna let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
This is the home of the Cowboys, Rangers, and Aggie football. KCDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Michael Jimenez. Halftime.
That's right. It's hour number 2 of halftime on the San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. As always, we're on the go at sasportstar.com. My name's Michael Jimenez, joined by Rob Thompson. Today, we are live at Twin Peaks Park North, hanging out with listeners and just getting ready for the big game tonight, Cowboys against the Saints.
Have you bought anybody a beer yet?
I have not. No, I have said that I would buy 2 or 3 beers.
I'm right here.
Somebody came by, wanted tickets for Natural Bridge Caverns.
You still have those.
Yes, we have 8 more tickets to give away for those, and we're also giving away tickets to the Eagles concert in Austin for next year. But you have to be here to win it, so we'll announce the winner after the show at 2 o'clock. But again, halftime goes from 12 to 2. Having a fun time so far. Enjoyed my chicken ranch sandwich. Not bad. Good recommendation.
It's part of the eats and drinks and scenic views, man. Come on out here. Enjoy your lunch. Specials are in play. Tomorrow, they're celebrating the anniversary of the repeal of prohibition. Back in 1933, it was lifted, and they will celebrate appropriately all weekend long with drink specials patterned after the end of the long dry spell, as it were. All the staff here will be appropriately dressed in celebratory lingerie. It's going to be a good weekend.
Celebratory lingerie.
There's two different kinds.
I don't think I've ever had celebratory lingerie. What is that?
Well,
is there an uncelebratory?
Well, just leave that be.
So right now I'm taking a look at ESPN right now. They're showing highlights of Taysom Hill making his first start for the Saints tonight against the Cowboys. Cowboys are getting healthy at the right time.
But, let's talk about Taysom Hill for a second. He is the most overrated, overpaid player in all of the NFL.
He's the most overpaid. I agree with you on that. Or one of the most overpaid. I'm sure there's somebody there who's more, but he provides a service, a talent that is pretty unusual in the NFL. You can line him up at fullback, running back, have him as a receiver, have him as a tight end. He can throw the ball as a quarterback. He's a little bit of everything, and it's hard to plan for him. We had a comment here on Facebook Live from Stephen Reese saying, oh, by the way, Taysom Hill's 1-0 against Quinn. Against Coach Quinn, who's going to be filling in for Mike McCarthy, who's not going to be at today's game because of COVID protocols. But,
wouldn't you prefer to, if he's this great athlete that you have to have on the field, wouldn't you prefer to have him in a position where he can be utilized on a far more regular basis than a fill-in quarterback?
He's a wildcat quarterback. They utilize him correctly, man. This is Sean Payton that we're talking about here, man. Sean Payton knows how to handle his team, knows how to handle his players. What the Saints need, though, is they need to have a competent quarterback back there that he can play off of, that Taysom could bounce back off of.
He's not a quarterback. He's a third down back. He's a change of pace. He's a sixth man. And to believe that he's anything else or to pay him that is crazy.
I don't think they're paying him as a quarterback, though. I mean, part of his contract says that if he has X number of snaps, that his salary does increase. But they're paying him based on what they think his value is for his position. What is his position? I don't know. I don't know what his position is. He's just a baller, man. He's just a football player. And I tell you this much. If the Cowboys had Taysom Hill on their team, they would use him the same way.
They have Taysom Hill on their team. They've just assigned him a real football position.
Oh, Tony Pollard?
You find an athlete that can do several things. That's Taysom Hill. I've not understood the way that they've decided to pay him the way that they've decided to pay him, to the detriment, I think, of other positions. That's just a Sean Payton thing, and that's a Taysom Hill thing that I have not been able to understand.
I don't think it's detrimental at all. I mean, I went to a game earlier this year at the Superdome.
Well, it's hard to argue. They do win when he plays, but it just seems to me I want to find a way to get my best athlete on the field as much as possible. And I'll give you an example. Micah Parsons. When the defensive line started falling apart for the Cowboys, the decision was made to pull Micah from linebacker, putting him on the line of scrimmage to get some pass rushes instead of just the blitzing linebacker to get him on a regular down. But what they found out was, as they put him there, the usefulness that he had at all these other different slots was taken away. They'd rather suffer at the defensive line position and move Micah around. And I look at Taysom Hill and go, if you had spent a little bit more money on, say, another quarterback other than Trevor Siemian, you could have had a Taysom Hill or something very much like that to do exactly what you're doing, but you're overpaying the guy to do it.
Taysom is not elite at anything, but he's just dangerous at a lot of things.
And I understand that it's hard for me to argue because scoreboard, the dude wins.
If you give him 3 or 4 steps, he will plow you over. And it's very embarrassing because you don't want to see
but I don't want my quarterback plowing over anybody.
But he's not a quarterback.
You're telling me he is. He's starting at that position.
He is the best of what they've got right now. The other option is to have Trevor Siemian out there. Trevor Siemian, who, again, has lost 4 games in a row. Trevor Siemian, who before this season had played 1 game in the last 3 years. This is a by necessity. I mean, Taysom Hill last year against the Broncos threw for only like 80 yards in 1 game. He is not a great quarterback, but he's dangerous in the backfield. And if you give him some daylight, he will take advantage. Now, you mentioned Micah Parsons. Congratulations to Micah Parsons. He was named Rookie Defensive Player of the Month for November. He had 6.5 sacks. He now has a Cowboy rookie record with 9 for the year. And it's kind of interesting because the Cowboys are getting a little bit healthier. We've got Tank Lawrence coming back for the Cowboys. He hadn't played in 10 games. And how do you think that impacts Micah Parsons as to what he's able to do now that Tank is on the other side?
Let me give you some numbers for Micah before we dig into it. He's on pace right now to get 103 tackles and 13.5 sacks. Nobody's done that since Bruce Smith back in 93.
Amazing.
First ballot gold jacketer there. He, according to the advanced NFL Next Gen stats, he's tied for the third highest pass rush win rate. I don't know what that is, but it's at 25%, and only 2 guys are doing it better than he is among the edge rushers around this season. And he's the only player in the NFL with 150 snaps or better that on both pass rush and pass defense and pass coverage. He is truly an NFL unicorn.
And it's funny because a lot of Cowboy fans were upset when he got drafted by the boys over the summer because, everyone wanted J.C. Horn, everybody wanted Patrick Surtain, and that was understood because the Cowboys needed that lockdown corner. And in many cases, they still do need another lockdown corner.
No.
But the fact of the matter is that when they drafted Parsons, I remember thinking to myself, that is a great pickup. That is a very, very solid player. And I knew Parsons was going to be that player who was a potential All-Pro. I knew that he was going to be a player that would be there for 10 or 12 years if healthy. But I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think any of us saw this coming. We knew he was good, but we didn't know he was great.
Trading back to get him makes it even prettier as you look back at what the Cowboys did to go. Some further numbers with Parsons. And keep in mind, a lot of these numbers were done without D-Law, without Tank on that defensive line. Right now, the Dallas defense is holding opposing quarterbacks to a QBR average of 23. They get pressure on over 40% of the drop packs. That's equivalent to the best defense in the league in both departments. It's also better than the Browns defense with Myles Garrett, the Steelers with TJ Watt, and the Rams with Aaron Donald. So while we've had a lot of discussion on the Cowboys and how they're going to turn things around, the defense has not only made plays, but they've kept them in games. You talk about cornerback. Last week, we had Anthony Brown go 4 DPIs, all leading to 4 first downs and 2 scores.
Yeah, absolutely crazy.
What do you do about that? Do you roll Anthony Brown out? Are you showing some film? The best case scenario is actually, I guess, you're playing a quarterback that can't throw. But the likes of 4 DPIs in one game, I don't think will ever be duplicated, and I'm not sure you want to give Anthony Brown the chance.
No, and Cowboy fans were already complaining on Twitter last night about the officiating crew already, lining up those excuses. But the Cowboys are going to win this game. The Cowboys should win this game by at least 2 scores. But apparently there's an officiating crew that's coming in that tends to favor the home team, officiating crew that tends to throw a lot of flags compared to most. So it's kind of interesting, how Cowboy fans are starting to lock in on who's the crew chief for a particular game. But you mentioned Micah Parsons. He's going to be the defensive player of the year for rookies.
Well, he's headed towards something that hasn't been done since the greatest linebacker to ever set foot on a field, and by many, the greatest football player to ever sit on a field.
Well, I'm taking a look right now at the odds of defensive player of the year in Vegas, who they think is going to win. And Micah Parsons is not even in the top 10 right now.
And probably shouldn't be, as being he's considered a rookie, but he'll get closer as we keep moving down the season.
Yeah, right now the big candidates right now are Myles Garrett, Aaron Donald, TJ Watt, Matt Judon, and Trayvon Diggs, who, by the way, a lot of websites have Trayvon Diggs as second right now in Defensive Player of the Year. He has so many interceptions, and I will tell you this much. If I could bet on it right now, because Taysom does not have the greatest arm, Taysom Hill tends to underthrow passes. I think Diggs gets the interception tonight.
It wouldn't shock me a bit. To wrap up the Micah Parsons, the last player to do what Micah is attempting to do, get rookie and DPOY, was Lawrence Taylor.
That's crazy.
And we're talking rarefied air with Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons is an amazing player. By the way, he won again the defensive rookie of the year, the offensive rookie of the year. No surprise either. Mac Jones of the
rookie of the week.
For the month.
For
the month was for the Patriots. Man, the Patriots are looking good. That AFC is a big jumble, man.
Yes.
The NFC is completely top heavy. AFC, you have 12 teams that are 500 or better. It's going to go down to the final week. It's going to be one of those weeks where you have 9 different scenarios as to who's going to be seeds 3 through 7 in the AFC. We're looking for a crazy week. But again, kickoff is at 7:20. Come watch the game over at Twin Peaks. Again, we're live right now at the Park North location. If you want to stop by, grab some lunch. Again, kickoff is at 7:20. They have plenty of TVs, plenty of space out here. It's a good atmosphere here. I love watching games at Twin Peaks.
Every seat's a man cave. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Outstanding. Scenic view. Ledger, hook us up with some headlines, man. This is the 411 and the 210.
Here's the 411 in the 2-1-up. Headline 2.
We'll start things off with UFC President Dana White, who's tested positive for COVID-19 after a Thanksgiving gathering. The 52-year-old White said that he and his immediate family tested positive after spending the Thanksgiving holiday together in Maine, where White resides in Las Vegas, but was born up in the Northeast and frequently visits his estate in Maine. White confirmed on the Jim Rome podcast that he is vaccinated and that he consulted his close friend and UFC commentator Joe Rogan for advice on his diagnosis. The UFC president said that he is feeling better already and wants to attend a UFC Fight Night event on Saturday in Las Vegas if he's able to test negative. The UFC has 3 live events scheduled for the rest of 2021. This weekend's Fight Night at the Apex, 269, a pay-per-view event on December 11th next weekend, and the final Fight Night December the 18th at the Apex.
You can catch UFC 269 right here at Twin Peaks next Saturday. That out there.
You know, the whole thing about Joe Rogan, I have never listened to any of his podcasts. I don't know what any of it's about. I know it's extremely popular. I think it's probably the top podcast in the country right now.
It is.
But there's just something about him I just don't like. Part of it is the whole fear factor thing. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with the politics or whatever going on. So I don't know.
You're holding a previous gig against him?
I am.
Paying gig, you're holding that against him?
I don't know, man. I just see him and I just get turned off.
If somebody was to pay you to eat a bunch of bugs, I think you'd do it.
His comedy wasn't that funny. I mean, if Dane Cook suddenly had a podcast, I wouldn't listen to it because I didn't like his comedy to begin with.
It's an interesting thing when you talk about how Rogan's success in the podcast world, because it's just about being at the right time at the right place and all of that, because no one expected that. No one expected that. I wonder if Dana White took some of the veterinarian supply.
You know, again, here's the thing about the COVID shots and the COVID booster. You can get a shot, still test positive, but again, it's really at
positive
this point,
don't mean sick.
Exactly, but it hopefully will make it less sick. That's the whole point.
Headline 1.
The Houston Texans canceled practice yesterday with multiple players feeling under the weather. The Texans conducted their meetings virtually and players were told not to come into work. None of the Texans players have tested positive for COVID-19 as of yet, and the team is expected to return to normal functionality later today.
I think we should all go home until we're better rested, Coach. I think it is the cold and flu season. What's the point of practice? We're going to lose anyway. Let's all zoom it.
Now, earlier we were talking about a soft tank. The Houston Texans, I was going to say they were going to have a hard tank, but I don't know, man. This Texans team, they're snake bit. They lost to the Jets last weekend, 21-14. It's a complete hard tank. Pledge, I mean, you're from Houston. Your 2 favorite teams, the Rockets, the Texans, are both losing on purpose. What's it like being a Houston fan right now?
It's fine because I've seen how it works. Look at the Astros. They lost hard for multiple years, restocking their farm system with great talent and high draft picks, and all of a sudden they have been to 5 straight ALCSs and 3 World Series over the last 5 years.
And somehow Deshaun Watson is still on that roster. Amazing.
You can't tell me tanking doesn't work when I look at the Astros.
It's difficult to do that in baseball, man, because there are 9th and 10th rounders who turn out to be Hall of Famers. Baseball, it's hard to tank in baseball, man, because there's so much talent out there.
It's not hard. Kids do it every year.
Yeah.
The process has been in place with the Rangers for 5.
Yeah, you're not allowed to talk about the Rangers.
Well, that's right.
The Dallas Cowboys linebacker Micah Parsons, as you were saying earlier, he was named the NFL's Defensive Rookie of the Month, as last month in the month of November, he had 25 tackles, 6.5 sacks, 8 tackles for loss, and 2 forced fumbles. Could he be making a case for Defensive Player of the Year?
He is. He's going to get it.
He'll get honorable mention.
I think he'll end up with Defensive Player of the Year.
For the whole NFL.
I do.
No way, man. Myles Garrett has 13.5 sacks right now. Myles Garrett has just as many forced fumbles, has just as many different stats that Parsons has. Parsons is having a fantastic season, an amazing season, exceeded expectations by far. But there's no way in the world he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year.
We still have 7 weeks left in the regular season. Cleveland is headed south. Their season is about to be finished. The Cowboys will stay front and center. If you look at the coverage on the national scene, just turn it to our mothership and count in the opening segment how quickly they get to the Cowboys. It's either in block A, B, or C on every show that they do.
And that has nothing to do with awards.
It has everything to do with awards because those that vote for the awards, the only avenue they have a lot of times for news is on the national. I'm telling you, 6 weeks from now, Micah Parsons will be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year because there will be the potential to see something that has not happened since Lawrence Taylor.
Now, let me ask you this. He was drafted number 12 in the draft. If we could redo the draft right now, where do you think he'd go?
Top 5.
Easily. Next topic.
That's the 411 and a 210.
Next topic. I got a lot of grief last night. I was on Twitter. Not only my wife was I in the doghouse with my wife last night, I was kind of in the doghouse on Twitter because people were upset that I gave a movie rating of a B+ to The Dark Knight. Now, The Dark Knight, I was challenged by Pledger to watch, and I promised him that I would watch it because there are a lot of movies that I've never seen before. A lot of them from the 70s and 80s. I know this one was from 2008, 2009. Fact of the matter is I had never seen it. And everyone built it up, and they thought it was blasphemy that I thought that it wasn't an A+ movie. They thought it was blasphemy that
Have you seen a better Batman?
Well, it was better than Joker, and I didn't like Joker at all. I remember the Michael Keaton Batman, and that was hokey and
so
fun.
you don't know.
That was hokey and fun.
But
it was a good movie.
You can't compare that to that.
Right, it was a good movie. It was a good movie.
Anything of the latest iteration, not the one that's got Pattinson now, but the
Dark Knight Rises and all that stuff.
You hadn't seen the other ones.
No.
So the only thing you have to go on is the first one, The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it brings up the point, though, because I always say that I don't watch certain movies. I never did, and I will now do them. There's certain movies. You've brought one up, some Westerns like Tombstone and what's the I'll Be Your Huckleberry one. Which one's that one?
Oh, it's the same mantra as Tombstone.
I have never seen any of those.
The Kurt Russell one?
Yeah. So I'm going to check out.
What about 3:10 to Yuma?
Never seen that one.
So you're not a Western fan. Have you seen The Harder They Fall right now on Netflix?
I have not, no. But I do want to watch that.
You call yourself a Texan. What? You don't watch cowboy movies?
Oh, dude, my dad watches cowboy movies all day, every day. That's
Does he have Grit? The Grit Network?
He does.
I've walked into my parents' home more than once and seen Grit on.
Yeah.
Audie Murphy made a lot of Westerns.
He did. But what's a movie that you've never seen?
You asked me this earlier. I've seen them all.
Oh, come on, man. There's got to be a movie. Like there's some people who say, I've never seen The Godfather. I've never seen. Now, I did see The Godfather 1 and 2 because I had the flu a couple of years ago, and I was laid up in bed, and I thought, this is the opportunity for me to watch 2 3.5 hour-long movies. So I watched The Godfather, and I loved both of them. They were amazing. Mm-hmm. And the second one was better than the first. I even watched the third one, and most people hate it, and I thought it was okay.
It was awful. But you had a chance to sit down and watch 2 of the top 10 movies ever made. Coppola is a saint.
But the next movie I'm going to watch for Rudy J, because he asked me to watch this movie, and I'll give a review on Wednesday.
It's not a Van Damme movie, is it?
He actually asked me if I had seen Bloodsport, and I told him I had it.
Time.
He wants me to watch Gremlins.
You haven't seen Gremlins? Man, how old are you?
I'm 44.
You should have seen Gremlins.
Gremlins, I haven't seen. Haven't seen E.T. Pledger. Pledger made me watch Indiana Jones for the first time a couple of months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good times. I really like Jaws. Jaws was really good.
Yes. Jaws was very good.
He literally just watched it 2 months ago.
The Outsiders, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
He
I got to
hates
watch
The
this.
So
Outsiders.
basically, you never seen any Spielberg movies.
Spielberg. I mean,
you just named a bunch of them.
It just depends. I mean, was Goonies Spielberg? Yes. Yeah, I saw the Goonies growing up. It's an awful movie.
Yeah,
I mean, it was fun growing up, but you watch it again as an adult, and you realize that it's awful.
It didn't hold up. But the one you just watched certainly did.
Yeah, Wasn't too bad. Looking forward to it, man. But, man, hey, we are live at Twin Peaks Park North right now. This show's going until 2 o'clock. I would say that we're about 2/3 full here at the restaurant. We're having a good time. And I'm really looking forward to, we've talked about movies a little bit, but I'm looking forward to, at 1:45, talking about what is on Rob Thompson's playlist. Spotify Wrapped came out yesterday. So for those of you who have Spotify, you can go onto your phone, click on the app, and it's going to tell you what your top 100 songs were for the year 2021. It's kind of embarrassing sometimes when you look at it, because you might think to yourself, oh, my favorite band is this and my favorite band is that. But then when you see it, it makes me question whether or not I actually have other types of favorite bands. Like, am I just fooling myself? Am I just saying that I like the Foo Fighters when maybe I really don't like them as much as I thought? Stuff like that. But we're going to have Rob Thompson go over here and check out his
I pulled up.
Spotify.
I don't use Spotify enough, man. I don't.
I'm still going to look it up.
I tried to. There's no music to look at. I can show you my YouTube playlist, but I don't have anything for Spotify.
All right, man. We'll be talking about Spotify at 1:45, but when we come back, tomorrow's the big night for UTSA football, Conference USA championship game. It's looking like 50,000 fans or bust. Can you imagine if 55, 60,000 fans
I fully
out there?
expect it to be. I'm going to call it at 54. I think we're going to have it.
That's amazing. We'll be talking UTSA football on the other side. This is halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM, and we're on the go at sasportstar.com.
It's time to get your hoops on. The NBA season is off to a fast start. North, south, east, west.
Step back for three. Bang, got it.
The courts are firing with board busting and rim wrecking in your face balling.
Deep three straight away. Oh, he got another one.
And we got it all covered. Everything a fan like you wants, and then some.
Hammers a right-hand dunk.
Get the latest on your game on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Welcome back to the quickest podcast ever, brought to you by Kohl's. Today's topic, holiday traditions. They're the best. Agreed. So I went to Kohl's and got 40% off Cuddle Duds throws for movie night and 40% off outerwear. Ooh, for caroling? More like sledding. Also got an Amazon Echo Show 8 so the kids can bake with grandma. Oh, that's so sweet. That was the extra 25% I saved and the Kohl's cash I got. I take it savings one of your favorite traditions too. You know it. Select styles. Offers end December 8th. Some exclusions apply. Amazon coupons do not apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
From city streets to back roads, from road warrior to carpooler, there are some things you can always count on, like the reliability, durability, and power of Die Hard, America's most trusted auto battery. No matter where your journey takes you, count on Die Hard to get you started on the road ahead. Available at your local Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest stores.
Great news, Slackers. Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar is now opening at noon 7 days a week at all 4 area locations. North Star, St. Mary's, Slackadochis, and the Medical Center. Slackers is the home for 7-day-a-week happy hour, now starting at noon every day. And by popular demand, Slackers brings back the signature frozen drinks. Bring a date, bring a crew, or come on down solo. Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar serves you up all your favorites and quenches your thirst 7 days a week, starting every day at noon. Visit slackersbarssa.com for more info.
Do you really want to go through another year with that awful joint pain? Don't do it. Resolve right now to get yourself moving again for 2022. Hey, it's James Pledger with San Antonio Sports Star, and it's time to call QC Kinetics, non-surgical regenerative treatments for joint pain. We're talking lasting results using natural biologics. No surgery, no pain meds, no steroids, and no downtime. This is really exciting stuff. Regenerative restorative treatments that actually encourage your body to heal itself using highly concentrated natural biologics. Patients rave about it. For hip pain relief, knee pain relief, shoulder and back pain relief, don't let them keep giving you steroids, and don't let them tell you that surgery is your only option. Get a free second opinion at QC Kinetics. Do it now and imagine life in 2022 without pain. Locations in Hollywood Park and Westover Hills. Call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics now. 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318.
When you're sick, injured, or experiencing a medical problem of any kind, the last thing you want to do is leave your home to find medical care. Now, thanks to Dispatch Health, you don't have to, because Dispatch Health comes to you. That's right. Receive high-quality care from expertly trained medical professionals in the comfort of your own home when you need it. Just call or click, and Dispatch Health comes to your home, able to treat common to complex illnesses and injuries. It's really that simple. Go to dispatchhealth.com now to learn more and download the app so you're always just the touch of a button away from the quality health care you need. Dispatch Health is affordable and in-network with most health insurance plans, including Medicare. It's true high-quality care from expertly trained medical professionals in the ease and comfort of your own home, all for an affordable price. So the next time you're sick or injured, stay home, stay comfortable, and let Dispatch Health come to you. Go to dispatchhealth.com and say hello to the modern-day house call. That's dispatchhealth.com. Go to dispatchhealth.com.
Broadcasting live from the 50-yard line. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Win a pair of tickets to see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra on Friday, December 10th at the AT&T Center all week long right here on San Antonio Sports Star. In fact, Jason Minix is giving away a pair today on the Blitz starting at 4 p.m. We're also giving away tickets here at Twin Peaks Park North right now. At 2 o'clock, we're giving away tickets to the Eagles in concert next year in Austin, so it's a good time.
That new Moody Center. It'll be May the 19th of next year in a brand new building.
We also have tickets to Natural Bridge Caverns to be used by Saturday. So if you want to stop by and grab them, we're here till 2 o'clock here at Twin Peaks Park North. Again, a great place to watch the game tonight. Cowboys and Saints kick off at 7:20. You can also watch the Spurs game here, taking on the Blazers at 9 o'clock. It's going to be a late night, but they're serving beer all night long over here.
Yeah, come get yourself an icy cold Yingling, something Michael Jimenez has yet to experience.
I will experience that in 30 minutes.
You know what? I'm signing up. When I opened up my Spotify account to show you how long it's been, I had to re-sign up. So I don't have the Wrapped account. I can show you my playlists, but I don't have, and it doesn't tell me what my favorites are, but I have noticed when I open up my playlist, it puts them in a certain order. So I get the feeling it goes with what I've listened to most to start with, and you're right. I have a feeling it's going to be music that I didn't think would be high on my list.
Mine's not fair because my kids use my Spotify. So sometimes it gets skewed a little bit, so you're going to see the Backyardigans into the thick of it in there. I'm sure. I'm going to take a look at it in a moment. But welcome back to Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star. We're on ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. We're live at Twin Peaks Park North right now. It's a big day for the Dallas Cowboys, but tomorrow night it's going to be a big night, probably the biggest of nights for the UTSA Roadrunners football team in action against Western Kentucky for the Conference USA Championship. This could be the first championship in Roadrunner history, and I'm taking a look at it. You're calling it 54,000, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So it's interesting when you take a look at the spread because, UTSA is the home team. UTSA was ranked as high as 15 in the AP. Mm-hmm. UTSA was ranked at the CFP. UTSA is at home, and right now, an underdog, a 3-point underdog at home to the Hilltoppers.
Playing for a berth in the Independence Bowl, it appears, though that could be in flux. Playing the Hilltoppers, they played them early in the season. 52-46 was the final score. A couple of interesting tidbits about WKU. Their quarterback's from Victoria.
Yeah.
So they're
away.
They're going up against a familiar foe, and it's going to be What we saw last week was mistakes offensively. We saw some fumbles and a defense lapse. The defense is going to be kind of secondary to the offense that's going to be required this week. It took 52 points to beat them the first time. And I do expect it's going to be around there this time. It's going to be an offensive showdown. Is this team healthy enough? Is Frank Harris capable of carrying this team to one final win to win the conference championship? Well, the proof will be there. I can tell you this. The rest of the country does not believe in UTSA.
No. And in fact, there have been some articles out there kind of making fun of UTSA for losing against the North Texas Mean Green. And it's kind of sad. I mean, the UTSA could lose the next 2 games and still have the most successful season that program has ever had. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But I understand Vegas, and I understand gamblers thinking that the Hilltoppers are going to beat the Roadrunners, because that Hilltopper team is legit, offensively averaging over 40 points a game the last 6 or 7 games. They're putting up 45, 50, 53 points per game. And UTSA needs to get stops. That's how UTSA won over there in Western Kentucky earlier this season. They got that key stop at the end of the game. But it's all going to begin in the trenches. Right now, you're seeing the offensive line getting pushed around. You're seeing the defensive line getting pushed around when that hadn't happened at any point in the season. But the last 2 weeks, UTSA has struggled. They pulled out, obviously, that win against UAB, but they struggled against North Texas. And it's just been a very difficult season, end of the season for the Roadrunners. But hopefully that crowd tomorrow. Imagine this. They started the season with 16,000 fans. Then it jumped up to 20,000, and then to 28, then to 35. San Antonio can help bring that championship here by getting the crowd going, by being loud, by being obnoxious. And, man, that's a key right there, having 55,000 fans in the stands.
We had Coach Traylor on R&R in the morning on Monday for his regular stop by. And, first off, he was very apologetic about what happened to his team up in Denton last week. But he couldn't speak high enough of Western Kentucky and that football team. And I think he realized they were lucky to get out of there back in October with a 52-46 win. Western Kentucky has been held under 40 points only twice this season. Only twice. One of them, and both of them were losses. 33 points. They held 31 by Indiana and 31 by Michigan State, and they did also lose to UTSA while scoring 46. Since over the last month, this is what they're scoring: 53 last week, 52 the week prior, 42 the week before that, and 46 back on 48, back on November the 6th. They put up points in buckets. It's going to be a long game. It's going to be a long time to get there. And when you were bringing it up, well, this is one of those rare opportunities where fans get to play a huge role in a conference championship game. It is a home game. Let's treat it as such. Lots of orange. Birds up. We'll see you out there at the Dome tomorrow.
Early start.
Yeah, the 6 o'clock kickoff. They're going to open the gates. I've been told this. I don't have this verified, but I do believe you can start your tailgating at noon. So get down there early. Let's fill that place. Let's see 54,000 orange crazy Roadrunners there this week.
Half the city is going to be going home early tomorrow. I'm a little bit disappointed by a 6 p.m. kickoff. This should be a 7:30.
For TV.
I understand that, but man, that's a disadvantage for people, because think about it. I mean, that's rush hour. It's the middle of rush hour. It's bad enough downtown. It's bad enough going up and down 35, 281, or 37, or Highway 90 just to get to the Dome. But to compound that with it being 60,000 fans potentially in the Alamo Dome makes it even worse. You kind of have to leave the house probably by 3:30 to make sure that you get there to be at your seat, or leave work by 3:30.
Tomorrow we will have the Pac-12 title game on in there. If you're a West Coast football fan, Big 12 championship you'll catch here on Saturday. We'll get it going at 11 o'clock just after the Saturday morning hangover goes off. We'll have your Big 10 championship game at 7 o'clock on Saturday, and we'll have your NFL coverage all weekend long. We got your football right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Now, one of the questions that Rudy J asked me yesterday, I want to ask you. I am of the belief that if Alabama loses to Georgia this weekend, that there is no way in the world that Alabama deserves to be in the playoff. Would you be okay if a 2-loss Alabama team makes it to the playoff?
Now, is Alabama, even with a loss, are they better than Cincinnati? I'm not saying this will predicate my answer to you, but let's take away the poll. Let's take away everything other than the eye test. Do you expect if they were to play 5 times that Cincinnati would win even once?
If they played 5 times, probably not.
Okay.
I mean, all the talent is at Alabama.
Okay, so if we were going by the rules and the standards that have been codified, that we have standardized, no, they should not go. A 2-loss team probably does not deserve to get into the bowl championship, especially given the losses that they've got, because that A&M loss looks worse now after A&M's last defeat. So,
well, beyond that, I mean, take a look at it this way. Over the past month or so, Alabama beat LSU 20-14.
Where was that game?
That was in Bama.
That was at Bama. Okay.
That was in Bama.
Game,
And not only that, LSU had every chance in the world to win that game.
But did they win?
They did not.
Okay.
No,
but did Alabama win? They won. Okay.
And then Alabama beat Arkansas on November 20th, 42-35. That's a game that they could have lost. And then against Auburn, they were losing most of the game to Auburn.
But that was a road game against an arch rival.
What is it, like 4 overtimes that game went to? 24-22. They had to go to Arkansas. We talked about this a couple weeks ago about how I didn't realize that ties that some players don't realize that ties exist in the NFL. I didn't realize that they changed the rules of overtime in college football. I had never seen that before.
Well, because of the A&M Clemson game a couple years ago, they went back to where it wouldn't be an unending game. Should they go with a second loss? No, they shouldn't. By the rules that have been set up. You work in the legal field, and they say, it's called the justice system. It's not the fairness system. It ain't about being fair. A 2-loss Alabama team deserves to play for it because I know that they're better. Should Cincinnati go? Absolutely, they should. They should go. Now,
I'm now changing my tune a little bit as to whether or not Alabama would just destroy Cincinnati.
Oh, they would smoke them 10 out of 10.
Oh, my
Don't
God.
kid yourself.
Are you doing that SEC bias? And then the SEC team,
I don't care if they're
games.
a 5A high school team with that kind of talent, they will beat Cincinnati 5 times.
Why is it that whenever SEC teams go to bowl games, they lose?
Don't give me what are you talking about?
Dude, I'm going to go over past records of SEC's teams in bowl games. They don't do as good as people think. I'm going to look that up over on the break.
They do better than most. But I will admit, but it's not. This isn't SEC bias. This is Alabama football, and you have the temerity to compare them to Cincinnati?
Well, you know what? Cincinnati has that win at Notre Dame on the road.
That's not that impressive to me.
And it wasn't
their head coach just left.
It wasn't a 4-point win. They beat the living crap out of them.
Yes, it's Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a middling Big Ten team. They just happen to pick and choose their schedule. So
Alabama does too. Alabama does
not. Alabama plays the SEC West every year. It is a murderer's row. You know who they get to pick? South Carolina Central in Week 11.
You said non-conference. They do not schedule any good on a non-conference
Would
schedule.
you if you were in the SEC West?
Everything is always neutral.
Notre Dame plays Stanford on the last game of the year. They got to line up the tradition. They pick and choose their schedule. So when
Stanford
you come to
had decent teams over there.
You can pull Stanford out and look at who they have played, and they managed to lose at home to Cincinnati. That tells me all I need to know about Notre Dame. That's why Kelly left.
Cincinnati's undefeated. They have quality wins, and they're a good team. I am not.
So is UTSA.
I am not of the belief that if you are the worst SEC team, that you're better than the best Pac-10 team or Pac-12 team or whatever.
I'm not either, but I can look at the eye test and tell you who's pretty and who ain't. And Bama on every level, from their third string.
No, I get that. They have
their second string.
They have 5-star in every category.
You think that Cincinnati has a prayer?
But do you think? But no. You asked the justice system or the fair system. Do you think that a team that has all that 5-star talent, all that 4-star talent at every single position, and to barely eke out games against
it's still a W. It's not about how you won. All that matters is the
LSU team, an Auburn team that doesn't have
the road
as good of a team.
It was on the road. It's the Iron
winning
Bowl.
by 2 to a bunch of 4 and 5 stars winning by 2 and 6
against a bunch of other 4 and 5 stars.
No,
it's
man,
the SEC.
They do not have as good. Alabama gets to pick whoever they want.
No,
they stack the deck. They have everybody with Saban.
So by that, you're still telling me they get to pick their talent, but they still would have trouble with Cincinnati. You're going to have to decide here.
What I'm saying is that Cincinnati deserves to be there over a 2-loss
I
Alabama
said the very
team.
same thing. By the parameters, they deserve to go. Are they better? No.
And what's going to end up happening is Georgia's going to win this game by 2. And then it's going to start that argument of, I mean, Georgia, obviously they're peers, and it's going to be one of those things. That's what's going to happen.
A two-loss team will not be in the Final Four. They won't be there. If Alabama goes down, they will not be there.
If it ever would happen, it would be Alabama.
I won't argue that, but a two-loss team will not go this year. There is enough groundswell to get Cincinnati in because they've earned it. They've done everything they were supposed to do. They beat everybody in front of them. That's all we can ask for them to do. Alabama has not. They might lose a second, or they might lose another. And if that occurs, they don't deserve to go. Are they better? Absolutely they are. They are better than anybody else other than Georgia as I look at them right now.
But Alabama could lose 4 games and still be better than most teams out there.
Yes, I completely agree with that statement. But that doesn't mean they deserve to go.
That's why I don't like the eye test.
And that's why we've gotten rid of that. We're not going by the eye test. Cincinnati will be undefeated. They deserve to go. Bama, if they lose, does not. If they win, yes, they're in. Guess what? 2 SEC teams.
All right. Instead of the eye test, let's talk about the ear test when we come back. Spotify reveals your personal preferences, the top 100 songs of your own playlist, like your own personal playlist. So if you go onto your app, you can see it's called Spotify Wrapped, and it gives you your 2021 numbers, your top 100 songs of the year, your top artists of the year. It's pretty interesting when you break it all down. We're going to break down my list, Pledger's list, and also Rob's list. We're live at Twin Peaks Park North. Again, we're here till 2 o'clock. We're giving away tickets to the Eagles. You have to be here to win it. And we also have tickets here to Natural Bridge Caverns for this weekend. Come by, say hi to us. We'll probably be here. We're on here till 2 o'clock, but I'll probably be here till about 2:30. This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM, and on the go at sasportstar.com.
The Dallas Cowboys, the New Orleans Saints. It's going to be a gridiron showdown. Catch all the action tonight starting at 7:20. Sponsored by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM. ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It's been a long week for the Dallas Cowboys off of the field with suspensions, players returning from injury, and health and safety protocols. But it's finally game day for the Dallas Cowboys as they head into the Superdome to face the Saints. A game that can be heard right here on San Antonio Sports Star with kickoff at 7:20. The two NBA teams from Texas picked up wins last night. The Houston Rockets edge out the Thunder 114-110 to make it 4 in a row to follow their 15-game losing streak, as well as the Dallas Mavericks improving to 11-9 with a 139-107 win over the Pelicans. And the San Antonio Spurs start a 3-game West Coast road trip tonight in Portland as they go up against the Trailblazers without Damian Lillard, who will be out at least 10 days with abdominal tendinitis. Tip-off is set for 9 p.m. Central. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Carl Schoening.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Companies. If you thought you missed your chance to refinance and save, think again. Mortgage rates have recently dropped below 3%, and Rocket Mortgage can help you save big. You could lower your monthly payment and prepare yourself for a better financial future. But you've got to act now. Call us today at 833-8-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rocket. Conditions apply. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents and Doug.
Don't you just love the smell of old books? Shh, this is a library. Sorry, ma'am. We're looking for a book titled Liberty Mutual Customizes Your Car Insurance so you only pay for what you need. I don't think we carry that, but check nonfiction. He really does devour literature. Please leave. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Jason Minix here for Garageanization. You've heard me tell you about their shelving, overhead racks, and storage systems to make your garage functional for the entire family. If you have issues with your garage, call 210-664-4494. Have them come out and give you a free consultation. Garageanization couldn't be a better choice. A veteran family-owned and operated business for more than a decade. Give them a call at 210-664-4494 or go to the website garageorganizationsanantonio.com.
For the ones who are always in the know. For the ones who keep things running. For the innovators and the problem solvers. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, experienced staff at local branches, and free access to experts to help answer your toughest questions. So whatever challenge you face, we have the knowledge and products to help. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
'Twas the season of cheer and joy filled the town, except for Scrooge with his perma-frown. The gift of a Peloton bike touched his soul without doubt.
Work, Peloton.
When your workout's a joy, it's a joy to work out.
You can do it.
The original Peloton bike is our best price ever, $39 a month. All access membership separate. Terms apply. See website for details.
Hi, my name is Ted, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Peppermint Chip Shake is when the peppermint shake is available, that's to me sort of announces that the holiday season is here. I guess most people count down the days until Christmas, but me, I count down the days until the shake comes out.
Hi, I'm Michaela, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Peppermint Chip Milkshake is that first sip when you taste the peppermint chip pieces, it's like catching snowflakes on your tongue.
Share a peppermint chip milkshake from Chick-fil-A this holiday. Available for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490. Hey, Cowboy fans, it is game day. Jason Minix here. Miller Lite, the only beer the Dallas Cowboys and San Antonio Sports Star. We're throwing a huge watch party tonight out at R&J Saloon. We'll start with a live broadcast of the Blitz from 4 to 7, then stick around and watch the Cowboys take on the Saints. Enjoy $2 Miller Lite long necks during the game. Register to win some great Miller Lite Cowboys gear and other great holiday stuff. That's this afternoon, 4 to 7 at R&J Saloon on South Flores.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
If it's rim wrecking board busting action you want, then come and get it.
Catching a right-hand dunk.
The greatest ballers on earth are doing their thing on the hard court, and we bring it to you. Catch the action on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Everything's bigger in Texas. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Catch the Blitz at 4 o'clock. We've got UIW head coach Eric Morris ahead of the second-round playoff game against defending national champion Sam Houston State. At 5 o'clock, Mickey Spagnola joins Minix with from the DallasCowboys.com. John McClain of the Houston Chronicle at 5:30. What's on Tap brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint at 5:45. 6 o'clock is Grilling with the Blitz brought to you by Tri-County Meat Market. And Game Night San Antonio getting ready for tonight's Spurs game again against the Blazers at 9 o'clock. And at 6:30, Taylor McHargue, a college football analyst for ESPN. Welcome back to Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star. Now, quickly, we were talking about Spotify and playlists, and I got my Spotify Wrapped list, and it's a little bit skewed because my daughter takes control of my Spotify in the car, but my number one song this past year was Hard Times by Paramore. Going to be honest with you, I love that song, but my daughter really loves that song, my 9-year-old. Ain't It Fun was also the number 2 song because, again, my 9-year-old daughter's favorite band is Paramore. And I think I'm doing parenting right if my 9-year-old loves Paramore. But other bands, my top bands on there were Halsey, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Paramore, Bush, and the Foo Fighters.
That's about your age group.
Yeah.
You're not.
It shows that I'm in my 40s. It is what it is. Hey, Pledge, who did you have, man?
Most listened to song this year has so far been Tickets to My Downfall. That is also my most listened to album, Machine Gun Kelly.
I don't even know who that is.
It's Machine Gun Kelly.
I just saw him on Fallon last night.
Yep.
Yeah,
he's acting, right?
No.
They introduced him by a different name. Yeah, isn't he an actor too? He's got a movie coming out.
I mean, he's done acting things. He was in The Dirt.
Yeah.
We've all
He sang a song with my girl Halsey this past year.
He did.
Forget You, which, by the way, was my number 10 song of the year.
Not on my Spotify Wrapped list.
All right. What artists do we have over here for you?
For me, no, I'm picking my favorite. I'm redoing my Spotify list, and I'm finding bands I hadn't thought of in years.
It had been so long, he had to refresh. Ooh, the motorcycles have arrived. Woo! Here for the beer.
Hey, make sure you go out and check Jason Minix out tonight. He's going to be down at the R&J Saloon on South Flores getting you ready for the Dallas Cowboys. He'll take you up to 7. Kickoff will be at 7:20. We'll have the game right here. If you can't get in front of a screen, it'll be brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and E-Wall Kubota. That is one fine tractor, as I love to say. Get your tickets to the UTSA game tomorrow. Be there. Be strong. 54,000 is our goal. Let's pack that place.
I was on Ticketmaster. Only single tickets were available. On the lower bowl, upper bowl, you could get some for as little as $20. That includes the fees from Ticketmaster as well. David Alejandre on YouTube says I should watch Three Amigos, Airplane, and Spaceballs.
Yes.
I'll let you know.
Have you not seen any of those?
I've seen all three,
Okay.
and I love all three. I quote them all the time. Three Amigos is one of my favorite movies. There's a TV show that two of those guys are on. Steve Martin and Martin Short.
It's A Murderer in My Building. I recommend it. It's very good.
Yeah, want to check that out. But again, kickoff. Cowboys Saints at 7:20. Thank you to everybody at Twin Peaks Park North for having us here. I'm going to be hosting the Blitz apparently tomorrow for Jason Minix, so it's been a good time. But Rob, thanks for being here with me. This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
The Blitz, sports talk, and everything else.
They're building a robot, Pledge. Elon Musk is.
Oh.
Tesla's building a friendly robot that will perform